I'm Kurt Lin, co-founder and CEO of Pinwheel, and we provide the leading API that allows anyone to connect their payroll account to any app. The problem that we're looking to solve is that there's an incredible amount of really valuable data about who someone is, how much money they make, and where they work, but they're locked away in these payroll systems, and banks and lenders and any other financial service provider that is trying to build products that will make the industry more successful need that information to do what they do. And so what we do is we build the pipes that connect the two. The reason why we're building Pinwheel is because there is such a huge need in the market, both from the side of businesses as well as from the consumer side as well. So we look at it from the business perspective. There are all of these services that banks and lenders provide, like offering loans or opening accounts, that require information that they don't have right now, or they're getting from either paper documents or user-reported information that is ripe with fraud and inaccurate. And so our job there is to make sure that information gets safely and securely passed from where it sits in these payroll systems to these banks and lenders so they can build better businesses, build new products, and operate much more efficiently. It's actually funny, my dad is a first-generation immigrant, and coming over to this country, it's kind of anathema to Asian culture to carry debt, right? It's kind of frowned upon and something that you don't do. And I remember as a kid, he went to go get a mortgage for the first time without a credit score, right? And he went door by door, and I remember going with him even though I was only like 3 or 4 years old. And I just remember, you always think your parents are kind of invincible, right? And I remember for the first time in my life, really seeing him get super frustrated and upset because he just couldn't get what he needed. And even though I was too young to understand what was going on at the time, as I got older, I put the pieces together and realized that it's because the system doesn't work for a lot of people. And by helping to bridge that gap with the data, it allows these folks to actually be able to access the financial products that they need to live their lives. I think the thing that I'm most appreciative and grateful for in being a part of the GGV portfolio is that, in the fundraising process, people always tell you, hey, we're value add. We're not just giving you money. We do this and we do that. And I think the unfortunate part is a lot of the times when push comes to shove, you don't really get that support from the folks that you need. I think the thing that really makes GGV special is they really do put their money where their mouths are, and when times get tough or when there really is a need for help, they're the first ones to raise their hand and say, how can we help? We want to be there for you in both the good and the bad times. And I think there's also an element of, this can be a very transactional business, right? You give a founder money, they go execute, and then you're both hoping that there's a great outcome. But there's all the messy stuff in the middle. And I think the other part that I really love about being part of the GGV family is that it really feels human, right? Like the relationships that you're building with people, it goes just beyond how can I make you successful? It's, I care about you as a person, and I really want you to succeed because I care about you as an individual. I think embedded fintech matters because of the first word there, which is embedded, right? It's actually something that I hear all the time from our investors, where the old adage is, first-time founders think about product, second-time founders think about distribution. And I think when you have embedded fintech, it's an entirely different way to think about distribution, where it's one to many, and it's in a way that is much more sticky versus trying to sell things door by door, piece by piece. And that's what makes it so powerful, because if you partner with the right company and it's embedded appropriately, you can access so many more customers and make so much larger of an impact right off the bat. The thing that I'm most excited about Pinwheel's future is when I think about the vision for the company, when we're successful in 5 or 10 years, we're going to be such foundational infrastructure for the entire financial services world, right? The story I always like to tell is when we came out of stealth in June of 2020, we had zero PR strategy. Literally, we begged our friends at TechCrunch, we're like, please write an article, we desperately need leads. And they were like, sure, just stop annoying us, right? So when the article came out, we were expecting just, a couple leads here and there. And in the first 72 hours, we had 133 organic inbounds from some of the biggest names in finance. And once we started talking to all these folks, we realized that on their roadmaps for the next 5 or 10 years, more than half of the really big product bets that they wanted to make fundamentally could not exist without Pinwheel. And so once we understood how integral our service was and what we were building, it got us even more excited that there's all of these amazing products that we can build alongside our customers that are going to change the entire face of financial services.